Okay, we're gonna walk in the door of my new shop here. There will be a room right here where we walk in. 10 foot by 10 foot. Right now I got about 7-8 feet in here, so this table's got to slide forward a couple of feet. No big deal. We'll come out a door right here. There'll be a little 5x5 bathroom, just a sink and a toilet right here where those furniture carts are. This will be where my bullet casting, reloading press, stuff like that is going to go. We'll go over here to the sheet metal rack. So here's where all my sheet metal is going to stack. And right now I've got some wire and conduit fittings. I've still got a bunch of power I got to get to all these machines here in the next day or two so I can get building duct work. So the metal will come in that garage door right there, go onto the rack. From there I'll drag it off onto the stomp shear, cut it, whatever size I need. This will be my layout bench, where I'll work magic with duct fittings. And then this slitter shear, a lot of you have probably seen it, a lot of you probably haven't. You can put a piece of metal into this track right here, run it through. There's two wheels in there that essentially just shear it off, and you can run as long a piece as you want through there. Cut it 10 footers, 20 footers, 8 inchers, you know, whatever you can feed through it, it'll cut. And then this table is just strictly to hold, you know, the metal that you're running through this slitter shear for the most part. I do use it for a little bit of layout and things like that. Anyhow, after the metal comes off of the stomp shear, it comes over here to the duct notcher. I got the conduit and the wire hanging out of it down there, but we're short a box to put that on in the outlet in, or that would be up and functioning. Air compressor that's going to power my pin spotter, my glue, everything. Spot welder, I've got to get an outlet to that. I got the conduit started down for the air compressor. Little box and pan brake I've got set up behind the big brake. I only typically just use this 4 foot over here, and this is a 10 foot brake, so I should have plenty of clearance to do whatever I need to do there. It's not that big of a deal to move it if I've got to move it and drag it around. So anyway, after the duct is notched, it comes to the brake, where I fold it up to a 90 or whatever other angle I got to fold it to. And I'll set it here, pick it up and run it through this machine, which puts the edges on it so you can pound it together and actually make 2 halves into 1 full piece of duct. From there, it comes over to the insulation bench. Insulation rolls through these rollers here. And then this glorified pizza cutter cuts it to the length that I need. From there, I'll stack the duct on this glue table right here and glue the duct and stick the duct liner on it. And then it's going to turn around to this pin spotter, which is going to spot weld these little fasteners through the insulation into the metal. So it'll be mechanically fastened as well as glued. It doesn't ever come off. That's the sheet metal portion. Then we've got machine shop portion, my big lathe. Toolbox back there that all the drawers are at the old shop. Got to organize all the tooling that came off from these big machines into those drawers. Or just to get them out of there, I just stuffed everything in a bucket, and I'm not going to bring that bucket of stuff up here because it'll stay in a bucket for 20 years. I know how I am. Drill press there, milling machine there, another drill press there, a variable speed one that has grooves in the pulleys, so eventually I want to smooth those pulleys out so it'll actually be a true variable speed instead of the belt falling into 4 or 5 notches. and my small lathe there. Press here that I built out of just some angle iron and crap I had laying around. And then just kind of a project table for stuff that I'm working on the lathe and the mill if I need to take it out and do some handwork or measure or whatever. Some additional hand layout on it. It'll go on this big bench here, as well as hold my rotary table, or if I got to pull the vise off the mill and set it somewhere, it'll hold it on here. Adjustable tailstock for the mill, a radius turner for the lathe, stuff like that. And there's still just a bunch of stuff I got to put away. We just got most everything moved out of there. Just finished today. I've got to bring all my reloading stuff down, but it's going to sit in the trailer, enclosed trailer, until I can get this room framed up and drywalled. Then I'll put the shelves and the benches in and organize all that stuff. So anyhow, it doesn't take long. It's a 40 by 50. All this big machinery, it doesn't take too long to fill a place up. So anyway, there you go. My elk horns are going to go up on the back wall back there. I have 3 sets. So the big one will go dead center, and then the 2 smaller ones to either side of him. Instead of just laying, they used to live up on the top shelf of the metal rack because that's all the metal that I very, very seldom use. It sits on the very top shelf. And so if I had to use a piece of that, I'd pull the horns off and drag it onto the shear and put the horns back up there, and it was a nuisance. So I'm going to hang them back there. Got plenty of headspace to hang them. So anyway, there's a tour of my new shop. And I'm pretty excited to get all the power wired up and get using it.